intervals on which f of x is increasing or decreasing. It's obviously increasing from here to here. The question is, what is that interval? Now, in radians, we've got from negative 1/2 pi to positive 1/2 pi as the interval where that's increasing. So I'm going to list that here, negative 1/2 pi to positive 1/2 pi. Since this is a reoccurring interval where sine of x will be increasing, we are going to have to state it in a way where we could be talking about any of the increasing intervals. So because it's a periodic function, in this case, just sine of x plus 5, the period is 2 pi. It makes one full rotation every 2 pi. So I'm going to just add a 2 pi and then an n. That's a little counter. So every multiple of 2 pi before and after this value, I will start another increasing interval. And pi halves plus 2 pi n will mark the end of that increasing interval before or after. Okay? So this function is obviously decreasing then from pi halves out to 3 pi halves. So what we're going to do is list that interval and then say every 2 pi in either direction, every 2 pi multiple in either direction from there. So decreasing on the interval from pi halves out to 3 pi halves. And I'm not requiring this on the quiz Monday, but in general you would scale that up to describe the whole behavior of the function by going pi halves plus 2 pi n, since it's periodic, and the end of the interval would occur at 3 pi halves plus 2 pi n. Part B is asking, is the function odd, even, or neither? Obviously, sine of x is odd to begin with, but when we add 5 to it, the function is not going to have rotational symmetry about the origin like it usually does. So this thing's been moved up 5, which DQs it from being odd, so this is neither. This function has an infinite number of extrema. I'll list the maxes since they're reoccurring every 2 pi. The maxes occur at pi halves, comma 6, and that's an xy value there. But more generally, that's the first one. More generally, they'll occur at pi halves plus 2 pi n, and that will be a maximum of 6 every time. So this is the more broad sweeping answer to part C. The minimum will occur at, if you look at the graph, at negative pi halves, and that will be a minimum height of 4. And generally speaking, this will reoccur because the function is periodic every 2 pi. So we'll go negative pi halves plus 2 pi n. Running out of space here, hold on. And that gets to 4. And part D is asking which of the 12 basic functions does this relate to, and f of x is related to the parent function y equals sine of x. Hopefully that was obvious from the beginning. We kind of use that throughout this process. I hope this helps.